So for the first card, what I've done is I've taken my star framelits and I've stacked them inside of each other. So this is the smallest star, and then we've got the next star up, and then I didn't use the next star after that one. I went a little bit bigger. So you can see what I've done there. Now I've already put this through my Big Shot, so when I take it apart, I will have 3 stars. Using my chocolate chip ink pad and a sponge, I'm going to sponge around the edges on both sides of my stars. Alright, I'm just about finished sponging my stars. Got the little one to do last here. Take off some of that extra ink and just lightly go over with your sponge on the star just to tone down the white. Right, I have my Whisper White cardstock here. Fold it in half, and we're going to apply the stars to the card. Put your star down on your Whisper White cardstock and repeat with this piece, and then glue it right inside, lining up the pattern on your designer series paper. Alright, so I've got my star all lined up. Now it's time to move on to the next step. For this step, I'm going to take the fine journaling tip of my chocolate chip marker, and I'm going to take my time going around the edges, just adding little tiny stitch marks. Alright, so I have my stitch marks all the way around my star, so it looks like that it's sewn on. Next, we're going to sponge the outside of this Whisper White. Take off some of that extra ink and just smudge it into the corners. And if you need more ink, just dab a little bit from your ink pad and then take the excess off again onto your scrap paper. And you can add as much or as little ink as you like, but it's always best to go light because you can't take away color. Of course, you can add color. So there's what I have. I think I need a little bit more in here. There we go. So our card base is Lost Lagoon, and I'm sponging the edges of this as well. Next, I'm taking my Lost Lagoon marker and I'm going to add stitches around this bit here. Now I want to add some texture to this card, so I'm going to take my star embossing folder and just get a few stars around this side, and I'll be right back. Okay, the next step to this card is adding glitter. Lots and lots of glitter. So I'm completely covering this with my Versamark ink pad. Now that that is completely covered, I'm sprinkling on heat and stick powder. Now you could just go ahead and use iridescent ice embossing powder, which is beautiful, but I want to use Dazzling Diamonds, which will give this a completely different look than iridescent ice. So the heat and stick powder is basically an adhesive that becomes tacky once it's heated. and it will hold any glitter. Alright, make sure you get all the edges. Alright, we're just going to give this a zap with the heat tool, and you'll see it'll go a bit clearer. See how it's starting to change? It's basically going clear. Now it's time to add our Dazzling Diamond Glitter. This is still tacky. I'm just dumping it on, shaking it off. Make sure you get the whole thing. Don't want to miss any bits. And then tap off the excess. Next, we're going to heat that again with our heat tool. Okay, can you see how sparkly that is? It is sensational. Really, really pretty. Okay, we can go ahead and put this on our card, and this won't come off. I mean, you might get the odd piece of glitter, but it is really, really on there, and there's a lot of glitter on there. But that heat and stick powder holds it really well. We're just going to put that onto our card, like that. Take some scrap Whisper White cardstock, and we're using the Bright and Beautiful stamp set. And I just want the words bright and beautiful in here. To do that, I'm taking my chocolate chip and my Lost Lagoon markers, and I'm coloring in the word beautiful and bright with my chocolate chip. And the Lost Lagoon for the and. Stamp it down on the Whisper White, just like that, and take our paper snips and cut it out. Cut a little V. Take our sponge and sponge all the way around. Now I'm just taking the bone folder to add some wave to this. I can trim that off. I don't need all of that. Put a couple of glue dots behind this. Just putting it onto my card. Then just trim the ribbon to the length that you like. And there's my card. Super pretty, and honestly the video and the photos are not doing this card justice. It's truly really gorgeous, and you can faintly see the stars in the background that we've embossed, which is a really neat look. And of course we've got the shading in around the star, so it breaks up that star. So I hope you enjoyed that. It really is bright and beautiful.